So, hey, I got three knives here, and recently I bought this knife on eBay. It is a Kershaw 1775. It's an OD-1 1775. It's a discontinued model, a collaboration with Lee Williams. And it's in desperate need of a cleanup and a tune-up for sure. But overall it looked to be in pretty good shape. Well, what got me interested in this one is this little tyke here. I bought this one. This is the Kershaw 1770, and I bought this on Amazon for $10, I think, $12 maybe. Um, in 2010, I think, maybe something like that. I think the date may be on this knife, so it might reveal that. But I think around 2010. But it's HCR13 MOV, and you know how how you can have a lot of something, and then just that little oddity is the one that strikes your fancy. And man, that's this little thing here. This, I mean, it's due for a cleaning and a tune up too. This thing rides in my truck, and if I need a quick little knife, I keep it pretty sharp, but I don't like go over the top with this thing or anything because I don't want to wear it out, so I don't want to keep sharpening it. I just kind of keep it there. But this fulcrum, or I'm not sure what to call it, but it it hides inside the back of the knife when you close it. It's like gear driven, sort of, and it just strikes my fancy. It's just the coolest little thing, and I should have bought 10 of them when they were available on Amazon because they were super cheap. And now if you try to buy one of these, I've watched, I mean, they're 50, 60, $70 for this tiny little knife. And I think just because, people have figured out the cool factor of them. It's got a little liner lock in there, and it locks up solid. It's and solid as a rock. It's on bronze washers in there. It's a neat little knife. I'm most definitely a favorite of mine, and the action is to die for. So, anyways, I've been looking for this one, which is its big brother, the 1775. It's basically the same design. It's got the G10 on one side, and then on the other side, it's got a stainless steel scale instead of like this one's got G2 on both sides, but stainless steel on this other side. But same design is in it. So this is out of the package from eBay, and the action's pretty good. It's still got the factory edge. It has not been sharpened, and it shows a manufacturer's date of February of '09 on it. And this knife, I believe, is made in 14C28N. Later models of this knife actually say 14C28N here. This one doesn't, and so it might be 13C28N. I'm not sure. The earlier models may have been a different steel. But anyways, I'm going to clean this one up. The action on it, it'll get open, but it's restricted. Dirty, needs to be cleaned up. So I'm going to do that. I'm not going to necessarily do it on camera. I am going to disassemble it, get inside of it, and then, like these scales, I'm just going to take this to the sink and scrub it and dry it off. Get it nice and clean. I think it'll clean right up. But anyways, I'm going to clean it up, lube it, and get it functional. And I probably won't leave this video running for all that, but I'll definitely culminate with the final of it. I mean, now that I'm running it a little bit, it runs pretty good. I mean, considering that it's on bronze washers. But I'll check the sharpness and strop and, completely take care of it. I wanted to note this little knife. So the guy that I bought this from threw this in the package, and it's filthy. It needs to be cleaned. But he just threw it in a package. Didn't have to, but went ahead and did it. And so I'm going to clean it up as well. It's a neat little knife. I'll get it clean. And it's got the toothpick that doesn't look used. I might disinfect that. Maybe bleach it, see if I can't get it back to white. But we'll see. And then on the other side, the tweezers are intact. So pretty cool. Yeah, I just threw it in a package. So I wanted to shout out to him, and I'll throw it in the notes. But the seller is Boise Blades. And he's got an awful lot of sales on eBay. He's got some other knives. And so just shout out to him. He threw this in there and didn't have to. So anyways, yeah, so that's going to go away. It's not going to be part of this review going forward, but we'll get it out of the way. But I am going to clean it up, and, maybe I'll save it and show it cleaned up in the end. But nice little Swiss knife, pretty cool. I appreciate him throwing that in there. All right, so I'm gonna not work on this one in this video, but yeah, it's due for a cleanup too. So this is the one I'm gonna get after. I'm going to go ahead and take it apart and see what's in there. Got a T8 on a pivot pin. It's got some Loctite on it. Who knows how long that's been on there. Had some tension. Looks like these two are what's holding me in. And I can tell now that they're T6s. So I want to be careful working with these screws, because an old used knife like this could be right on the hinge of stripping screws, and then of course you strip out a screw and something this small, in my opinion, these tiny little threads and all that. That's kind of the end of the knife as far as I'm concerned, because I'm not going to tap and weld and solder or, try to repair that. I mean, even as much as I'm excited about this little knife, I would want to do that, but I don't know that I would take that on, because that would be a lot. But these are functioning okay. They're not stripped. The threads look okay. Everything looks to be in good shape here, so not overly concerned. The knife is ready to come apart. Let's see what we got here. You never know too, but I can see clearly this thing, somebody in a dirty environment, like dirt, literally, I don't know, they were cutting sod with it or something. But you never know, like one of the washers could be missing, but that washer could definitely be polished. It's going to help this knife run really a lot better. And what I'll do is I'll put that on some 12,000 grit and polish that thing straight up. There, my other one's in there, and there's a mountain of dirt and debris in here. So it's definitely one of those that I know I can improve on. But if you look at this action, what this does is in there, that connects to this pin on the blade. And so as you're swinging that open, it launches that. It's on a pivot back in there. And all that's going to come out. We're going to completely take this apart. I'll get this other screw out. Like I said, I want to be super careful with these screws. That one's got some Loctite in it as well. There you go. Drop that pivot out of there. And then this other washer. Yeah, that washer was actually frozen to the scale. It was frozen on there. So here's that mechanism. Just the angle and the way that works causes that to launch that blade out. It's pretty cool. So I'm completely disassembled. I'm gonna get busy like in the sink and, you know, all kinds of stuff cleaning this up. So we'll come back to the video once I got everything cleaned up and we'll put it back together. Okay, so I'm putting a finer polish on these washers, and I started with a 6,000 grit belt that I ran it on, and this is a 12,000 grit, so it just puts a nice little polish on these washers. And everything else has been cleaned, and it has a light coat of oil on it. So there's a couple of things to reveal. There was some staining on the blade in here. And this blade's coated. It's got a coating on it. Wiping that excess oil off of it right now. I notice I got a little nick in the blade here, so I'll have to profile that. But in order for me to get this staining off, I would have to put this on a buffing wheel or sand it or whatever, and I'm not gonna disturb this existing coating that's on here. So that staining's gonna stay. And on this liner, it's stainless, but it was stained. And it was stained pretty heavy. But because it's a liner, I went ahead and sanded it. It's probably got, I don't know, a 400 grit sand on it to get a lot of that staining out of it. Now it's got a coat of a film of oil on it, so I think it's good to go. This I scrubbed up pretty good, and it came pretty clean. You can see it's definitely got wear in it, but I mean, I'm not going to say it's like brand new, but it's in good shape. Just needed a cleaning. And then the liner scale, it's got some staining. A little bit here. There's some up here. And again, I don't want to disturb the coating that's on this, so I'm not going to go overboard to get that off. We're going to leave it be. So I think we're ready to go ahead and put it back together. And my understanding is going to be, let's see, kind of lost. So I know this goes in here, and I believe this goes in there. There we go. Okay. And then this goes behind there. And then we've got the first washer. Go ahead and just give it a quick wipe. It's pretty dirty, the whole thing. But that's what happens when you get a good knife and you stick it in your pocket. It's gonna pick up dirt for sure. Okay. Give this one a final wipe. It's got some of that polishing debris on it. Get all that cleaned off. Gonna touch that detemp ball. Yeah, I may have to back up. I think I have to attach that scale, or trying to put this together is going to be a nightmare. So that was the shorty screw. That one right there. It's got some existing Loctite on it, so I think I'm going to just let it go right back to where it came from. I am going to wipe that screw off though, because I did not clean this hardware. Let's leave that like that for now. Poke these up. There we go. It's going to give me a reference point on this backspacer. Probably wipe that screw off too. Okay. There we go. Okay, back with the blade. Except, let's see. I have to line up that with, there we go, that lock mechanism. Okay. And the top has to line up with this pin going in now. I think we're money. I'm going to put this in. That's actually a T8. Catch these back screws. Be careful not to press these too hard. I'm going to back them out and then let them drive their way back in. Make sure that it's all the way out so there's no cross threading or bad tension on these screws. Everything looked perfect, but I don't want to. My experience tells me that, man, you can create a problem right here with an older knife. Check that lockup. I mean, I don't have any movement there, so I'm not going to move it. And that just drops shut. Let's see what's up. Oh, like butter. Yeah, that action's wonderful. Just needed a little TLC. I am going to check that for play again, though. Yeah, I think I can get a little on that, and I'd rather have a little on it than not enough. And there's plenty of tension on this screw, and that's probably that Loctite that was on there. Let's check it one more time. Feels solid. I don't feel any rocking. Nothing going on there. I'm going to just tweak it just one more time. Like so. Let's make sure I didn't go too far. I mean, I did go too far because now I can feel it grabbing. Yeah, let's come back out. No need for too much pressure. There we go. Yeah, a washer knife that almost has the action of a bearing knife. Just a little shake and it completely flies home. Okay, let me get rid of my stuff here. And I'll wrap up this video. How long are we? Yeah, we're right on my normal long videos. So, Kershaw. Okay, I'm brain dead. Kershaw 1775. And its little brother, the 1770. And just one of my absolute favorite little knives. And now I think this is going to join the party. I'm probably just going to get them both in my truck. Driving around, I got my trusty little Lee Williams design. And of course, I don't know if you know, but Lee Williams went on. He does the KickStop version in several high-end knives. This same kind of mechanism. He's moved on from Kershaw and he's doing it on his own. I don't really have all those facts, but he's got other knives now that he's putting a similar mechanism in there. So anyways, there's my restoration. This thing runs really nice. It's clean. It's in good shape. Bought it on eBay. It's not a perfectly brand new knife, but it's one I've been wanting for a long time. So there we go. I appreciate y'all watching.